we don't really have an identity. I don't know, man. Consistency is just something we're really struggling with.
Which is interesting because, and we'll talk about this more in a little bit, but Kerry Zavagnin touched on identity in the post-game press conference. He specifically is working on that, which I have to imagine is very difficult. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of No Other Pod. I'm Jimmy, along with my good buddy Daniel Kooser. Dan, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, dude? We're back. Another week, another L. Happy to be here with you, my friend. Feeling great, feeling positive. Absolutely.
The life of a Sporting KC fan. I'm adjusting my microphone because I realized it moved way high up. So,
oh, you got ghosts. Okay.
I was cleaning up my my little office space here. And I sat my head up and I hit the microphone and it shot it way high up. So,
all right,
didn't hurt my head, but it was all out.
Good.
So
we're all happy for you.
Well, with my luck lately, I probably would have given myself a concussion.
You're having bad luck. What kind of luck is going on?
Oh, I just ever since I bought my house last year, home things, and then the skin cancer and my dog tearing her ACL. It's if it's not one thing, it's another thing, and it just keeps coming. So,
no, that's true, dude. That's true.
Hopefully it ends soon though, because I got a couple of trips coming up here in the next couple of months that I'm looking forward to. So those need to go well.
Would like to not have bad luck on an airplane. Yes,
especially one that will be flying over the Atlantic Ocean.
Not a fan of that shit, dude.
Don't want that.
I've never flown over an ocean. That just sounds really crazy. The only out of the country I've been is on a cruise to the Bahamas. So it's I've technically been out of the country, but does it really count if you're on a cruise? And yes, Nick, we know you haven't been out of the U.S. You're like fucking Charlie Kelly, who they have to drug and put him in the trunk because he's scared to leave Philadelphia.
Nick's I can't leave Kansas.
He is. It's come on, man, we're going on a trip. Chloroform his ass.
Interesting. That I know that there are people who have never flown over the ocean and such, but at least growing up in LA, you've flown to LA, so you've flown over the ocean for a brief second, because whenever planes take off for LA, they take off over the Pacific.
Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy, because when I think I was landing in San Francisco, I think maybe,
mm-hmm.
And dude, plane was about to land and it took back off. It just kept going. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, what is happening? Why are we back in the air? I was ready to pee, it was a whole thing. But also I'm scared because I started thinking about Die Hard movies and how they're don't land the plane. There's a terrorist threat in the Terminal C. And I'm freaking out, dude. But anyways, they were coming in too fast. And they were nope, raise back up. You're going to have to come around.
That's so interesting, though, because, that seems that's something more. I know with tailwinds and such, maybe he didn't know, but that feels that's in the pilot's control.
Yeah, I don't know. But how, the weird sensation, dude, to be on the descent and then all of a sudden, now you're back up and you're no, I don't think this pilot's landing correctly. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Hold on, time out, take two.
But me and my wife, Marissa, though, dude, you don't talk on planes because you can't hear shit. You don't talk.
Yeah.
You just can't really talk. As if we shared a look just wide eyes, what's happening?
Are you normally scared or get anxious about flying at all?
Bro, yes. I try to take a gummy or two and try to chill out and watch some TV.
Knock out.
It's tough because I am anxious. Final Destination fucked me up as a young lad.
I've never seen Final Destination, and one of my coworkers was telling me about one of them, and I forget if it was a more recent one or what, but something about the guy had a vision that if the dinner tray in front of the seat went down, then it was gonna set off a whole
dog.
Of events.
I don't even open my tray anymore. I don't even touch it.
And I was I don't need that in my life.
Yes, it's whenever Marissa goes to take her tray down, I'm that. Oh, that better not break off. It better not break off.
You just set off a whole chain of events that will.
Chain of events. You should watch those. Nah, you can't watch those movies. You're a worrier. I can't have you watch them.
There's a movie coming out that I'm I kind of want to see it, but I need somebody else to see it first. Weapons.
Oh, I'm seeing that tonight, boy.
Okay, you're gonna have to
see it tonight.
because I'm
you ought to watch the director's first horror movie that's on Netflix.
What is it?
Barbarian.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know me. Is it gonna wreck me?
There's horror elements, but I won't.
Yeah,
I won't
okay.
say it's flat out
as a yes.
horror. It won't wreck you. There's just elements of horror, whereas Weapons, I think, is like a mystery horror. You know,
and that's what I like. That like True Detective season 1, where you're like, is there supernatural?
Sure.
Is there not? There's something weird and creepy. Maybe a cult. Maybe not. Like, or The Outsider. Like, I love that where it's like
that was good.
It bends the genre of like there's something creepy going on, but it's not necessarily just like out and out demons trying to possess you in your face or whatever.
You might as well just watch Barbarian tonight, dude. That's a 90-minute film. You knock that out, no problem. You're ready for Warriors. Now you know what the director's all about. He wrote the movie too. Both movies, writer director.
Are they?
Clearly, I'm geeking out.
They're not connected in any way, are they?
They're not connected in any way. No.
Okay.
But I think
not like
next
a glass split, unbreakable situation.
He's gonna do like a Resident Evil film next, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
Because he likes horror, man. He's dabbling.
Yeah. Well, we'll check it out. I do have a coworker who every time I go in, she's like, you need to watch this horror movie. And I'm like, why are you trying to ruin my life?
Well, we also established you haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, and neither had I until recently. So,
yeah. There's a lot of movies that, like, I've seen a lot of movies. I'm a big movie guy, but there's also, like, some of those, like, classics that I don't know, haven't seen. And, like,
you just don't seek them out.
They're those movies that you're like, they're always going to be there. I'll get around to it eventually. But there's never a night where I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I really want to watch Shawshank Redemption.
I want to watch a classic movie.
I really want to watch Godfather Part 1, which that one is the one that people usually get mad at me because I haven't seen any of the Godfather movies. I haven't seen Godfather. I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies. I haven't seen any of the Creed movies. So, like, those are the ones that I haven't done. So
those are fantastic.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's plenty of other movies that I've seen most of the Spielberg movies. Like, I've seen Jaws. I've seen there's a lot of classics that I've seen. It's just there's some that I missed. So
right.
But airplanes don't bother me so much. I usually fall asleep. I can fall asleep pretty well on an airplane. So
that sounds nice.
It's I do have like my one little bit of superstition. I'm not like a superstitious guy. I'm a little stitious. But when I get on an airplane, I always like have to touch the outside of the plane as I'm walking from the jetway onto the door. I don't know why. Like I want to like touch the exterior of the aircraft. See, our producer Nick, he does that too. Like, I don't know why. I don't know when I started it, but like if I fully got onto the plane and I didn't like touch the outside of the plane, I think I would freak out.
So you've never done that on accident?
Not that I can remember, because as I'm walking down the jetway, I'm always. It also helps that I'm tall because I have to duck my head. So usually I'm like putting my hand up above so I can like kind of duck my head under. But I consciously, as I'm going down the jetway, I'm like, I'm going to touch the outside of the plane.
Wow.
So I don't know. It's weird. I'm a weird dude.
Yeah. It's something. That's all right. That's all right.
But I've never had to come in for a landing and then take off again. That's scary. We were going to land in Denver and then they had to divert us to Colorado Springs because of microbursts.
Yeah.
That sucked. So Denver and I are not friends in that standpoint.
It's a little bit away.
Yeah. So yeah, microbursts are scary, but I've done a lot. I'm fortunate. I've done a lot of flying in my life and I've done transatlantic or trans-Pacific flights a handful of times. So
interesting.
Once you get in the air and you knock out, you don't even think about the fact that you're in a metal tube, 6 miles above the ocean. So
it's pretty Jesus, when you put it like that. My goodness.
Just flying through the air, defying the laws of physics.
That's insane. I hate this.
Yeah.
God dang.
So, but anywho, that's enough about our airline fears.
Yes, enough about the airlines. Shit, man. Dude, I did a thing though. I wrapped up Groundhog Day this week and then went and got attached to another show because I'm fucking crazy.
Can't keep you from it. You're about that life.
When you are an actor, it is a dopamine hit when you are doing something creative. And when that's gone, it's gone in an instant. It doesn't trickle away. It's just no more. Like, I can't explain to you the post-show blues I was feeling yesterday. It was weird, bro.
Did you guys do like a rap party?
No, but we all hung out a little bit Saturday night, late till about midnight. So I guess that was kind of a party, if you will.
Yeah.
But I was like texting people Sunday, like, this experience It meant so much to me.
Sign each other's programs,
People were
have a great summer.
People had posters made for us to sign. It was,
we'll never see each other again.
You might not see some of those people again. You just don't know. But I went and got attached to a play, dude. You might be like, Goose, you only do musicals and comedies. That's pretty weird. I haven't done a drama in about 10 years.
Wasn't Something Rotten? It was a comedy, but wasn't it a play? Yeah.
No, it was a musical.
Was it a musical? I don't remember.
But it's been 10 years since I did a drama. I did Great Gatsby, but I used to dabble, dude. I did Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I did Death of a Salesman. Here's some heavy hitters, so I'm going to be the lead in Shawshank Redemption. Is he really the lead, though? Because Morgan Freeman's kind of the lead, right? And that's not who I'm playing.
Spoiler alert, Dan's not Morgan Freeman.
No, never do the voice.
I wouldn't be able to tell you because I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
So I need to watch it now.
Go watch it and be like, yeah, Dan's going to rock this. Like, because I was watching it and I was like, man, I could do this. This is exciting.
I'm going to go see the movie and then I'll be able to compare who did it better, Daniel Kooser or Tim Robbins.
Shit. You know where this is? You know where the show is?
Where the show is?
It's in Holton, Kansas.
Wait, this isn't Topeka Civic Theater?
Nah, dog.
Where the hell is Holton, Kansas? I'm sorry to those of you who live in Holton, Kansas, but I do not know what you are.
Small community. It's
3,400 people.
Really nice people, and this show is being done there.
What Holton is? Where the?
I went there for community college summer courses.
Damn, you went north.
Okay. Yeah, a little north. Fun.
Holton, Kansas. Okay.
So yeah, hey, but remember, you said you were coming. No.
Different experience than Topeka Civic Theater.
Yeah, it'd be different. I've never done anything there. So I'm kind of flexing my, comfort zones and just getting out of my box and all that. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm used to my whole routine for Topeka Civic Theater. I go there and I get my drink and I order my dessert for the intermission and all that. So
this is also a dinner theater, though. I think they also serve dinner.
Okay, we'll see.
Interesting.
Well, let's take our first break here because we've killed enough time.
Yeah,
and myself. Then we'll hey, brag on it, dude. It's a cool thing. Let's take our first break and we'll come back and we'll talk about this soccer game. We'll be right back.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network. Emprise Bank has been with us from the beginning. They were our first network partner, and they believed in the vision of what we were building from the start. I can't speak to any other banks or companies and how they operate, but I can tell you from personal experience and based on the growth of the network you're listening to right now, that if you have banking needs, call our friends at Emprise Bank. We've worked with so many great people there over the years, from Vicky and Aggie to Andrea, Lori, Jackie, Deb, and Aaron, and not to mention so many others that not just supported KC Sports Network, but supported our KCSN Foundation as well. But the best thing that I know is that if I have a question or a problem, no matter how dumb the question is, I know who I'm going to call and who I'm going to talk to. And I know that I'm getting an answer from someone that I can trust. And I know that person is there to help us. That's why Emprise Bank has always been and continues to be our partner in Possible. And they can be yours too. You just have to reach out. If you have a banking need, whether it's business or personal, hit me up. I will connect you directly with the same people that have helped us build KCSN. And that's our friends at Emprise Bank.
Dude. Last week, I went and saw that Naked Gun movie, that new one.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it's exactly what it was, right? Supposed to be goofy and silly. And you seen any of those movies?
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay.
I know.
Funny.
But you like it?
Yeah, oh, for sure. But, this was not as funny as another Sporting KC home loss. I'm not enjoying these. It doesn't feel nice. But this game had moments in it where I was like, oh my God, we could have equalized there. And then it got out of our hands for a sec.
That was the most frustrating part about this game is, well, when you look at sort of what was happening with the lineup, it was interesting because this was a straight up 4-4-2 essentially, especially when Sporting was playing defense. It shifted almost into like a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-1-1 kind of deal when Sporting had the ball. But this was the first like real extended run where we've got to see Dejan Jovic and Santi Munoz on the field together at the same time.
Yeah, it started at like a 4-4-2, right? But it went all over the place. We don't really have an identity I don't know, man. Consistency is just something we're really struggling with.
Which is interesting because, and we'll talk about this more in a little bit, but Kerry Zavagnin touched on identity in the post-game press conference. He specifically is working on that, which I have to imagine is very difficult because he was also asked about his status as interim manager, and he doesn't know if he's going to be the full-time coach or not. We've talked about before, Mike Burns doesn't know if he's going to be the long-term sporting director or not. Some of these players don't fully know if they're going to be here or not because they're either out of contract or they are on options. We know there's one player who we know for sure isn't going to be here anymore, and that's Danny Rosero, because club parted ways with him in the middle of the week ahead of this game, which he was going to be let go after the year anyway. So I don't think that was a surprise to any. I mean, I think it was a surprise that it happened in the middle of the season, but he was on a club option for next year, and I think everybody kind of expected him to be going somewhere else.
For sure.
So it's this was just an interesting one. I mean, we did get to see Robert Voloder step back into the starting lineup alongside Jansen Miller, and earlier in the season, he and Jansen had a really good partnership before Voloder broke his collarbone. And we had Jake Davis and Zoran Basong playing in the midfield as a double pivot together for the first time in their career, really. So there were things to watch that were interesting. And like you said, if you look at the stats, Sporting Kansas City outshot San Diego 21-5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy, especially considering San Diego had almost 60% of the possession.
Well, before we get into that, see, you're cueing me here. Should I read Chip stuff before we get rolling?
Oh, you can read Chip stuff if you want to. Yeah, let's do it, and then we'll go through the goals that happened and go from there.
Let's hit the chip shot right now. Sounds good.
Do it.
Oh, it's the chip shot.
Hold on.
What
the hell
is
the
chip shot?
Did you and Nick plan this?
Oh yeah, we planned this, dude. That's the chip shot music. Do you like that?
This sounds like.
Do you feel it?
What is happening right now?
Going to feed you the stats. What's the haps? Dude, I'm telling you.
Why is this like I don't know, like a 2000s comedy, like someone's trying to seduce a girl he just met as he comes into his room.
Yeah,
it's
girl.
Like, would you like a glass of wine here?
Absolutely. You wear them cargo shorts often, girl? Okay, shut it down. Oh my God, that was good. All right, Nick.
I'm so confused.
I know. That's what I told him to do. I was like, we're going to rib him.
When did you plan that?
Like a week ago.
Oh my God.
Seriously, I almost forgot. Chip said, you're going to love it. It's going to have new lyrics every week.
I love it.
New lyrics.
I love this bit.
Another game and another goose egg for the boys in blue, leaving SKC winless in their last 4 and scoreless in the last 2 matches. In a time where an SKC would need to buckle up and figure out where the goals are coming from, the team is kind of floundering offensively, except for a few noticeable things. Let's take a look. SKC ended the match 0-2 with a total of 1.6 XG for the game off 21 shots, 5 on target. San Diego finished with their 2 goals with only 0.8 XG on 5 shots. But for a team to come out of the shoot, 5 shots, 5 on target, and 2 goals, that's efficiency. Sporting shots were all either blocked, off target, or saved, but a plurality of them were blocked at 9. To me, this is a big thing of SKC trying to take shots, but the San Diego defense absolutely swarming the players, either closing down the shots or putting enough people in the way to keep the goalkeeper's job on the easier side of things. Sporting is doing a lot of dribble penetration, trying to get close to the goal before pulling the trigger. But in doing so, it's kind of limiting the options SKC has once they get closer to the goal. We don't have the height in our forwards to win headers, so we're mostly just hammering in on goal and hoping we get it in the net. With SKC shots, we had 3 within 10 yards of the goal, another 10 between 10 and 15 yards of the goal, and 5 at 18 yards or higher. Shallowy clocked 8 shots for the game, a season high, with 3 on target, accounting for about 0.5 of Sporting's 1.6 XG, but I cannot help but think setting up anything in terms of a one-touch for a goal would allow us to catch the keeper off guard more than allowing the defense to shift to block the goal. Shallowy has taken the most shots of anyone on the team this season at 45 shots, which comes out to almost 2.5 shots per 90, but only clocks in at 0.13 goals per shot. The thing is, it isn't wildly different from other players in the league with that range. For forwards in the league, which have between 40 and 50 shots this season, Shallowy is tied for 10th out of 23 in terms of goals per shot. For XG, he ranks 12th in that same pool. So again, very middle of the pack. How about shots on target? For that, Shallowy is tied for 5th. All this to say, getting them on frame hasn't been enough for us to get the goals. I think players like Santi Munoz and Jake Davis have been incredible for the offense, putting more versatility in the attack, but we have yet to really capitalize on it. SKC finished the game with 36 shot creating actions compared to San Diego's 10, but those little finishing touches is what could define our season. I'm getting pissed hearing all this underperforming bullshit. This just sucks a lot. But enough of the doom and gloom, and on to the next match. We've got Orlando up next as an away game. Orlando is currently sitting at 6 in the East, but I'm writing this before they play Miami, so who knows where they'll be at the end. Orlando is sitting at 1.6 points per game in their last 5 matches compared to SKC's 0.8, which is currently tied for the worst points per game in 5 games in the West. Don't worry, DC United is at 0.0 points per game in their last 5, so we're at least not that. Orlando is 5-3-4 at home compared to SKC's away record of 3-2-7. Trouble is that Orlando currently has the 8th highest goals scored per game while at home at 2, but it's also coupled with the 9th worst goals allowed per game while at home at 1.58. Can SKC get their attacking juices going? Is Tommy going to be off the injured list and make some magic happen? Tune in next week for another exciting episode of Kansas City Soccer. Hell is Eric Tommy, bro.
He was hurt, man.
I know.
I saw him in his all-white outfit eating some food up on the 3rd floor.
Oh, white. What kind of food? That sounds messy.
Well, I mean, the players go into like there's like a buffet area where there's food available for the players.
Well, hot damn, look at that.
So,
well, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy how much we had opportunities and how our XG was. If you're looking at XG, and we should have won the game, and that sucks.
100%. And they kind of got a goal out of nothing. It was really in the 22nd minute, and Sporting Kansas City turns the ball over.
That long one?
Yeah, Jansen Miller just kind of gets taken down from behind, which I'm not saying this was a foul. I will say, I think this referee forgot that cards exist for the vast majority of the game because things were happening, and I was like, this is a blatant card or this is a foul or whatnot. And it was super confusing as to why he was or wasn't calling fouls or what he was doing. At one point, Zoran Basong was trying to like hype up the crowd, and he basically went over and warned Zoran to stop it. And we were like, he's allowed to hype the crowd up, my guy. Like, and then there's another time where Chucky Lozano got fouled, and he was like, that's the 4th time he's been fouled, no more. And I'm sitting next to Paul Carr in the press box, and Paul goes, it's actually only the 2nd time that Chucky Lozano's been fouled this game. And so the referee was just on one. So I don't fully understand what's happening. But
wow,
Sporting didn't lose because of the referee. In the 23rd minute, Jansen gets dispossessed. Chucky Lozano gets the ball. And this is why he's a designated player and why they signed him. He's a world-class player. He's done it for Mexico. He's done it in Europe. This is a thing. Maybe you could argue maybe Pulse Camp, if he reads it just a little bit better, could have got there. I think he overshoots it a bit, especially from like the in-goal camera. You can see it. But I mean, it's at a certain point, it's just
a great goal.
Yeah.
But not only that, dude, he gets a successful tackle and gets up fast enough for the player who gets the ball to give it right back to him. And just saying like, here, man, take a hit with the ball that you just stole on your own.
Yep.
And it's world class. It's like, God dang, Pulse Camp can't get that. I mean, he never should have got this shot off. Jansen Miller couldn't get up. Well, Jansen Miller was like tracking back, so that's why he was so open.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty tough. And that is what it is. And the 2 players involved in that goal, Chucky Lozano and Anders Dreyer, they are San Diego's 2 best players. Anders Dreyer arguably might be the best, most likely MLS MVP this year who's not named Lionel Messi. Like these are their 2 attacking players. So it's no surprise that they were both involved in the first goal. Sporting pretty quick after that had a couple of chances. And, like 4 or 5 minutes later, Shoppy gets sprung down the right side and he's able to find Dayon, who redirects the ball on target. And this doesn't, it's cleared away by a defender. I do want to just give a shout out to Dayon for this shot in the 27th minute. I don't even honestly understand how he redirects this on frame with even the amount of power that he does, because his shoulders are like fully squared up to the corner flag.
Yeah,
and yet somehow he gets this on target.
He was cocked and ready, and it wasn't just a few minutes here, man. This was like 10 minutes of us coming and coming. Like we're having a barrage of attacks.
Yeah,
like even
10 minutes. It's always interesting.
What the actual F? Who are you? Where did you come from, naughty man? any Hoosers. Fucking shit, dude. So even shallow
catch you off guard if you catch me off guard.
That's insane. That's wild from James Mack. I'm calling you by your government name, dude. Shallowy like had a hell of a cross across goal too at one time, and no one's there to stick it in.
No one's there.
God
Santi almost.
God damn it. I am gonna fucking lose it, dude. I'm in no mood. Oh my God.
Santi almost does a little chip shot over the keeper as well that like missed 2 inches. So like
amazing chip too, dude. It was great. Did you say chip shot, by the way?
Just cue up the music now.
Wouldn't that have been great if he was just ready with it?
But you're right. I mean, there were chances, and then it was in the 34th minute where there's mayhem in the box, and Dayon has the ball, and it's cleared off the line by the keeper, and then I think it's Logan who gets another shot, and he fires it like a cannon, and there's a defender on the line who heads it away in full Jansen Miller style. I mean, Sporting had chances. You can't have 21 shots and not have chances. So that's just the most frustrating part. And they go into the half, they are down 1-0, but you're thinking if they can continue to play offensively and create the chances that they have, maybe they have a chance to come back and get a result. So at halftime, I'm thinking there's still a chance here. As good of a team as San Diego is, I don't know. What were you thinking, or what are you feeling 1-0 at halftime, given the way this game went?
Oh, I'm thinking we're knocking on the damn door.
Right.
I'm like, dude, we just need to get. Oh my God, that could have been 1-1. That could have been 1-1. We had so many moments, and it's so at halftime, I'm like, it's fine, dude. Really good position right now. Not a big deal.
Yep. And you look at what happened right at the start of the second half. Sporting had a couple of chances within the first few minutes. Dayon thought maybe there was a late runner behind him, so he dummies a ball that he thought might go through there. Shoppy sends a ball across the face of goal. 5 minutes later, Daniel Shallowy sends a shot in that misses by just a couple inches again. Like, Sporting really did pick up where they left off in the second half. It was just unfortunate that in the 70th minute, Anders Dreyer, that designated player, number 10, gets on the end of a ball in Sporting Kansas City's box, and he's able to toe tap it past John Polskamp. That puts San Diego up 2-0. And again, even though Sporting continued to fight and have chances after that, it just was not enough. Too little, too late. So it ends up being ultimately a frustrating game. From
Did you see Logan and Denbei about blasted one in too? We didn't mention that.
Yep, it was cleared off the line with the header.
It was insane. I mean, it was going net, dude. But like, there was a defender waiting on it too. Like, San Diego's defense was great, man. They were stout.
It was like the one place really that Logan couldn't hit it to if he was going to score there, and he did. And it's not. I mean, you're just trying to fire it on frame at that point. So
100%. Like, there was just chaos.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Real quick, just some thoughts from Kerry on the match. He said, I wouldn't want anything else other than the result. The game can be cruel sometimes. As I tell the players, it's difficult to control the result. You can control the performance and your attitude and your thoughts and how you go about business. From that perspective, the result didn't match the performance. I thought we deserved more from the game. So fair, I think, but he goes on later. He says, we created so many chances, but tonight was not our night on goal. Tonight wasn't our night in terms of finishing. We had a lot of chances, more than I can ever remember. All of this is true.
So many.
But when you are a team like Sporting, who you don't have any margin for error anymore, close but not close enough doesn't cut it. If this were a team that was banging in 2 or 3 goals per game, and then occasionally a performance like this happens, that's one thing. But I feel like we've had a lot of episodes this year where we've talked about Sporting look like they're maybe starting to figure something out offensively. They just can't find the goal. And that's sort of been the consistent through line this season.
That's where we're at now. I mean, that's the team we are. I can't believe they had such a beautiful second goal like that. They just picked us apart, bounces off of us. It looks so weird. I'm watching it right now. That's why I'm stuttering. But we know who we are now. We belong at the bottom, near LA, near St. Louis. Like, we're showing nothing to earn a passing grade.
Yeah. It's I mean, he was asked about Alan Montez's debut because he did come in for like 4 minutes plus stoppage time. And let me tell you, this dude is huge. He's like 6'4",
Yeah,
almost 200 pounds.
I saw a reporter somewhere said like something about Alan, and he said like though he's unlikely to play, and I'm like, why would you even put that out there? He very much could play.
And he came in and they switched up the formation to a 3-4-3. They brought in Alan Montez and Steven Afrifa, and they went for it. And they had chances. So I was happy to see that. But what Carey says in this answer about Alan Montez is he goes, tonight we started in a 4-4-2, and we're going to continue to try to find different ways to be on the front foot in games and to see advantages that the opponent can give us. Ultimately, we want to create an identity for us that we don't always have to adapt to the opponent. That's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm really confident in the club, the organization, and what we're doing moving forward. So it is interesting hearing you earlier say, we don't know what the identity of this team is. And Carey's basically saying he agrees with you. We don't have an identity yet. We're trying to find this identity. And that was what was always going to be the biggest challenge after Peter Vermes got fired is what is the identity of Sporting Kansas City in the post-Peter Vermes era? So, we still don't know.
You know, the most wild thing about like playing these highlights back is just seeing shot after shot, Daniel Shallowy just not getting it done.
Yep.
Like it's a lot, man. A lot of strikers don't shoot like 8 times during a game, right? I mean,
right.
What's the average time a striker does? And how often do they convert?
Right. Well, and Chips mentioned before that, Dayon, despite the number of goals he scored, he's very efficient with his touches. Doesn't get a lot of touches for Sporting Kansas City, really. And you can see again in this game, he's making good runs, and Daniel is on one tonight, and Daniel's a good player, so I don't necessarily blame him. But there were a couple times where Dayon was like, I'm open, I have a run, I have a lane, lay it off to me, and Sporting still aren't really finding him yet. So they need to find a way to get Dayon the ball more because he is the primary goal scorer, or he should be.
Yeah, it's weird.
Let's take our second break here real quick, and then we'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Man, I'd like to say the only way to go is up from here, but it's like, what? I mean, what's the chance here for a playoff spot? You know what I mean? It's just dwindled.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, and even Carey, you can hear him. He's not really talking about playoffs. I mean, we're now 8 points behind San Jose, who's in 9th place. Granted, we have a game in hand against both the 8th and 9th place teams in Colorado and San Jose. But even let's say you make the full 3 points up in that game in hand, you're 5 points back, 5 points in 9 games to make up. That's a big task. So the tea leaves that I read from Carey's answer there about identity is he's trying to determine in these last 9 games, what is the identity of this club? What does he have to offer Sporting Kansas City from a managerial, from a philosophical perspective, where he can point to them and say, you want to win games in the future? Look at how over these last 10 games, 9 games, whatever, we solidified an identity. We finished strong. No, we didn't make the playoffs, but this is what the Carey Zavagnin style of play is going to be in the future. That's why I think he's like, I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with the effort. I'm happy with the strategy. Sometimes the result's not there, but he's really like functionally he's interviewing for this job every time he steps onto the pitch and every time he's in front of a microphone. So he's trying to pump up, understandably. Strategy was sound. Game plan was there. Just wasn't our night. So
yeah,
it should be interesting to see. And we're not going to know until after the season for sure. We're not getting any news on that. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, now we turn to an Orlando team where, Chip mentioned that he wrote that chip shot before Orlando played. Well, in the Leagues Cup in the midweek, they had already beaten Necaxa 5-1, and then they hosted Miami and they beat Miami 4-1. So Orlando is flying high where over their last 2 games, they have won by a combined score of 9-2. Now, you can say, well, Miami didn't have Lionel Messi, and that's true. But still, they still had Sergio Busquets. They still had Jordi Alba. They still had Luis Suarez. They still had a number of talented players, and Orlando beat them 4-1. And now we have to travel to Orlando and face a team that is a pretty good team that's sitting 4th place in the Eastern Conference and has scored 50 goals on the year, letting up 34. For reference, Sporting Kansas City has scored 36 goals and let up 47. It's almost the exact inverse. And this is going to be tough.
Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I mean, I hope everyone's going to be hitting up the KC Current game around the same time. So at least maybe, what's crazy is both Kansas City teams play Orlando this week.
Mm-hmm. One here and one there. Well, I mean, it can't be there because obviously the Pride play in the stadium, but
yeah, it's just kind of neat. Well, I'd love both wins. I do only think there might be one win that day.
I mean, the Current game is the game to watch. Like that's the game of NWSL. That's the Kansas City game to watch this weekend. But I mean, Martin Ojeda for Orlando City, he is, their leading goal scorer, their leading assist getter, 14 goals, 13 assists. Marco Pasalic, 11 goals, 4 assists. Luis Muriel, 8 goals, 7 assists. Ramiro Enrique, 7 goals. I mean, the fact that they have 4 players on Orlando that have 7 or more goals on the year just goes to show that this is a deep team who it doesn't all just come from one player. It's not like, you take away Dejan Jovic and you've solved Sporting Kansas City's attack. I'm not feeling great about going on the road to Orlando City and coming away with the result, just being honest.
Nah, man. I mean, it'd be wild if we did, but it's house money now, man. We just play around with these formations and see if they can put on a show.
Yeah,
because they're not. It'd be nice to see some goals scored. It's been a while since I've been excited. I want to be excited again.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I want to be excited too. I want to see progress, and it's been since July 16th that Orlando City lost their last MLS game. They've beat New England, they beat Columbus, they beat Miami, so they're on a 3-game MLS win streak right now, not to mention their 2 3-1 and 5-1 wins over Atlas and Necaxa in Leagues Cup. So they're flying high. They have all the reason in the world to be confident in Sporting.
It's an SKC Great Depression right now. I mean, times are bad, but we got to get out. The only way you can go is up.
That's right. And, like I said, very curious to see Alan Montez. I'd start him. And it's not even against Volader. I actually liked some of what I saw from Volader. There were some times in this game against San Diego where Volader was like, he thought he was a forward. He was like charging ahead, and he had a couple of moments where I was like, get Volader the ball, and he might be in one-on-one goal. But
why not?
I think
I
was just going to say, I think we know Jansen Miller is going to be around for a while. So put Jansen Miller with Alan Montez, see what you get, and go from there.
It'd obviously be nice if we could loosen the purse strings a little bit and buy players here, players there. And it's what's interesting is, did you see Peter Vermes came out and had a one-on-one conversation with someone?
Absolutely. I'm glad that you brought that up because I watched this right before actually we started recording, and I took a couple of notes, and that was one of the things, maybe the thing that I pulled out from his 30-minute conversation. It was the We Are Soccer show at the North American Soccer Expo. They had Peter Vermes on for like a 30-minute conversation. They talked about a whole lot of things. They talked about the state of MLS. They talked about youth soccer. They talked about U.S. soccer. They talked about Christian Pulisic. But they were asking him about MLS and comparing eras. And one of the things he was saying was MLS used to have a lot of parity. Like it used to be that you'd start every year and every fan base, for the most part, thought their team could be competitive that year. And he goes, now you have owners who are coming in, and it's good. It's what the league needs to do to move forward. But he goes, you have these owners who are coming in, spending more money, and it's a lot harder for teams to, quote unquote, punch above their weight class. And he kind of elaborated more on it later when they asked him, like, what's his future? Like, what is he doing? And he was like, it's been nice to recharge and not have a schedule or whatnot. But he goes, if I'm going to be back in MLS, I'm going to, do it just as a coach. I have no interest in doing that MGM. But he said it needs to be with a club that really understands continued investment and that you have to invest. And he specifically said the club probably should be in the top middle third of spending. You can be competitive and you can try to punch above your weight class, but you have to be committed to winning. And he kept talking about a budget and spending and budget and spending. I came away from that thinking that those weren't direct shots at Sporting Kansas City, but this was Peter Vermes kind of, again, doing what he's done for the last couple of years, where he's like, I don't have the financial backing to do what I want to do.
Yeah. I mean, we always kind of knew that he was handcuffed. You know what I mean? I think Peter's job suffered because of ownership like that. Like, right?
I think,
I think like your bosses failed you. You didn't have your resources. I mean, I don't know. They gave you stuff and they're like, here, do what you can. And he did for a minute. He did some stuff, man. He won some stuff. But it's just hard now. Everyone comes in being rich now. The Miamis, the LAFCs, bringing in all these players. Fucking Atlanta, Son. Yeah. Son, I mean, my God, dude. He got in the game this week. But, like, wouldn't it be nice if Sporting just 1 year just opened it up and said, all bets are off. Let's go for it.
Yeah. And I think that's what Peter, in a lot of ways, was a victim of his own success, because when he took over and then for the next 5 to 7 years essentially turned Sporting Kansas City into a consistently competitive playoff team that was vying for trophies with super draft picks and re-entry draft picks and MLS free agent signings that were not the Clint Dempseys or Landon Donovans or Thierry Henrys that played over in the Premier League or in Europe. He's instead drafting Matt Beasler from Overland Park or Leawood or wherever he was from. He's drafting Dom Dwyer. He's drafting Graham Zusi and converting these players into MLS All-Star caliber players. So I think ownership got comfortable with this idea that, Vermes is this guy who can take talent and get the most out of them without us having to spend. And by the time they figured out that wasn't working anymore, it was too late. It was too far gone. And the well was too poisoned with Vermes in the fan base, at least. So not much you can do at that point. But I don't know. I thought it was really interesting hearing him talk in that way. He was very careful. Not like they didn't ask him and he didn't say anything bad about SKC directly. He was very professional. Another thing, I don't know if you noticed this, but another thing that I thought was interesting is he gave a lot of praise to Don Garber and what he's done, but he was like, the league needs to stop changing the playoff format. Like every 2 years they're changing the playoff format. And he was like, I'd be the coach and I wouldn't even know what the playoff format is anymore. So find one and stick to it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, fans are the same way. I can never remember, at first, like, I was like, what is it now? Like, I don't know. I missed it.
I don't think I could tell you off the top of my head right now with full confidence that I fully know what the playoff format is this year. Like, I think I could tell you, but if you're like, your life depends on being able to accurately describe the MLS playoff format,
yeah,
I would not be confident.
Like, is it best of 3 again? I mean, it's been that before.
It's a pseudo mix of, there's the knockout round, and then there's the best of 3, and then it goes back to 1 and back to 1. And it's like, okay, either pick a best of 3 or pick a straight through elimination.
Yeah.
Don't be going back and forth. Oh, every year we're adding another team and another team. Like, and then he didn't even get into this, but not only are you changing the playoff structure, but then you're also like, and also we're going to have this new tournament we just created called the Leagues Cup, and we're going to stop playing in the U.S. Open Cup, and then we're changing the Leagues Cup already, and then CONCACAF Champions Cup changes, and so like everything is always moving.
How are we not in Leagues Cup or U.S. Open Cup? That's what I want to
know. That's a great question.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And every year, as season ticket members, they'll give you like complimentary games to U.S. Open Cup or even Leagues Cup. I think that maybe, I don't know. I can't remember. They were complimentary games. Now, where do those go this year? There's no complimentary games.
Yeah, we were.
So technically, your ticket prices or your season ticket prices just got more expensive per game.
Because they don't have like the whatever they call them, the bonus.
No extras.
Yeah. I mean, we did have Sporting. I forgot this until as we're talking. Sporting was in the CONCACAF Champions Cup earlier this year when we played Miami and that home.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I guess, weren't in U.S. Open Cup or anything. We backdoored our way into the Champions Cup, but that lasted all of 2 games. And then It's February 25th. Sporting's played one official MLS game, and now we're only in MLS for the rest of the season because we're not in Open Cup and we're not in Leagues Cup.
Yeah. Forgot about that. Dude, that was my hip recovery. I had no idea what was going on.
84 years ago.
It sure does. Tell me about it.
So, I don't know. I do think it's interesting. This was the other nugget I took from the Peter Vermes conversation, which I don't think I ever would have thought. Well, two things. One, he was like, he was asked, will you ever be MLS commissioner? And he was like, I don't really want to deal with all the commissioner stuff, but I would help them with their competition format. I think he's really like stuck on the playoffs. He's like, we got to fix the playoffs. So he's like, I want to help with that. But he said that he's talked to some national teams about being their head coach, not the U.S., but some other countries outside of the U.S. He's had conversations about being a national team head coach. And that would be crazy to see Peter Vermes standing on like the sideline of Hungary.
It'd be pretty weird. Yeah.
So I still think he finds his way back to MLS somehow.
I hope so. I mean, I like him.
Yeah. He was always, for the most part, very nice to me, except when I asked a question that he wouldn't really like.
For the most part.
He was never unprofessional or anything. It's just he was Peter. He was very serious, as we could tell when we interviewed him here on the podcast. And you asked him about the fall, and he gave a step-by-step breakdown of it.
Dude looks me dead in the eye. Well, it's really quite simple. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay.
So pretty funny. We did get an email from Joey Shondell. Thank you, Joey. And
Joey.
Wondering what your realistic dream signing for the offseason, maybe a specific player or someone or a specific league to target. So do you have, I actually, before we recorded, I didn't have an answer. I do have an answer now. I don't know how realistic it is or not, but do you have a person or a league or something, or you want me to give my answer?
Well, as you've just seen, one of my favorite players, Thomas Muller, has now come to MLS with Vancouver. And Son from where was he playing? Tottenham, right? Yeah.
Yep.
He's over in LA, and it's like, why is it so outside the realm of possibility to approach someone on the caliber of Cristiano Ronaldo again? We all remember that story. We all remember like it was actually a realistic thing. We did reach out about it. This was a whole, supposedly, you went full conspiracy on it, saying this was just a way to drum up attention for the club.
Which
I could buy,
When you'd read the tea leaves, Ronaldo never talked to anybody. Ronaldo's people talked to people for Sporting Kansas City, and then after he picked Saudi, told them like, you would have been it.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a bunch of bullshit. But that was aggressive for us. That was us trying something. You know what I mean? That's us asking out the most popular girl, and she said no. And there's worse things in the world, Yeah. So like, let's keep going after the prom queens, dude. Let's get after it.
Yeah, there's off the field reasons why I didn't like the idea of Cristiano Ronaldo, but that was the first time that Sporting Kansas City, like you said, went for that marquee splash signing. There were rumors of Antoine Griezmann for years because of how much of a Chiefs fan he is, and obviously that never panned out. The player that I'm thinking of that I think is technically realistic, but I don't think is going to happen. But you never say never. I would not be mad at all to see Sporting Kansas City go get Gianluca Busio and bring him home.
Hey, bring him home.
Because we need some more depth in the midfield. We need somebody who can be a 6, or an 8 or a 10. Like he can play all three lines. He's very familiar with Kansas City as an organization. Venezia just got relegated, so he's not in the top flight in Italy anymore. He probably wants to stay in Italy, but he was here over the summer at games in Kansas City. If you were to tell me that Sporting Kansas City could find a way to get Gianluca Busio back in this midfield, I'd love it.
Bring him home, dude. God on high. Jean Valjean, dude, bring him home.
So that's my, realistic, semi-realistic signing for this offseason is if they could find a way to bring
more realistic
home.
I'm in, dude. I mean, he'd be really helpful if he wants to come home. You know what I mean? He's
still young.
Be living it up in the Italian canals and stuff and their nude beaches and everything. I'm sure it's a great time.
I mean, he's what? I'm looking him up right now. He's 23 years old. You're telling me that you can go live in Italy, play European soccer at 23 and live that life, or you can come back and live in Kansas City. I love Kansas City. I'm not shit talking Kansas City. I defend Kansas City to everybody. But if I'm 23, I'm half Italian, I'm playing European soccer, and I got that European soccer player money, that's a hard thing to walk away from.
We have kind of some European style stuff. You ever been to the Plaza? It's a little European down there.
Paris of the Plains. That's what they call us, right?
Do they really?
That's what I've heard.
Amazing.
So I assume when I go to Paris for my brother's wedding in a few weeks, they refer to that as the Kansas City of France.
Man, what do you think people think when someone throws like a destination wedding? You think people are just like mad?
I know it's hard on some people. I know in his case, the woman he's marrying, her family lives in France. Like she's
so they're not just choosing
a
destination wedding. Gotcha.
Like it's where that's where her family is. Yeah, and the literal venue where they're getting married, like her mom works there. So like,
well, that's pretty neat. So okay,
it's not just like a random like throw a dart on a globe and see where it lands.
Because that would be bullshit. It'd be like, dude, I ain't buying a trip to Italy. What is happening?
No, so it does make it more complicated for people in the States if it's overseas, but there's a line of logic that was there. And it's given me an excuse to go to Disneyland Paris. So
you haven't been yet.
I haven't been.
You're going to Paris when I'm going to Florida.
You going to
what
Disney
time? World? Yeah, we're going to do the Disney World in the Epic Universe.
Epic Universe. There you go.
Trying to do the Halloween Horror Nights. But my wife's not really into that, and I don't know how into it I am. I'm scared of cat.
I have not done Halloween Horror Nights. I did when I was in college. It was at Knott's Berry Farm in California. They had Knott's Scary Farm. Mm-hmm. And I remember being very scared, and I remember getting there and being like, I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. So you go.
I can't do it alone. If no, we're going with some friends, but if our friends don't want to do it, if they might not do it with me, it's a different ticket.
If they want to do it, tell Marissa to do it. This is what I did. If she gets scared, wear a hoodie, and then pull the hoodie drawstrings. So literally all you can see is like a little hole that's just right in front of you. I've done this. And then you're blocking out everything around you, and just hold on to the back of you. And then she just watches the back of your head and goes, and then she won't get scared.
Oh my God. She's going to hear that. I don't even know if it's about being scared. I think it's about just like not wanting to do it, you know?
Well, that was my strategy the first time.
But dude,
and I was scared. I was like, nope, if they can't see, I can't see them. They can't see me.
Are you aware that the Wyatt Six are going to have their own haunted house?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I have to go see it. And the Fiend is like chasing people around.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Rambling Rabbit.
Show up with
pictures
with a lantern.
Dude, I'm telling you, I gotta go. I have to. But
cool.
going alone would be, I don't know.
If I were there, I'd go with you, but I can't be there.
Yeah, I know you would.
But go to Epic and ride Stardust Racers and tell me which side's better, because I'm looking.
That's the plan.
Yeah, the Monsters Unchained, and the as much as I don't like J.K. Rowling, friggin' Ministry of Magic does look cool.
Does look pretty baller.
So, well, that's about all I got for this week. You got anything else for our good listeners?
No, I don't think I do.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Joey, for the question. If you want to be like Joey and send us an email, do so at nootherpod@gmail.com. But otherwise, leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social at nootherpod, at Dan Kooser, at JCMag03, or check us out on YouTube, KCSN Soccer, or via the KC Sports Network app. But until next time, he's Dan, I'm Jimmy. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.
It's the chip shot, baby.